I've waited over 7 years to share this story with you. Okay, I admit, that's a little bit of a stretch. But this story did start over 7 years ago when my son met his high school sweetheart for the very first time. And about a year ago, he decided he wanted to propose. Hearing the words wooden box makes my stomach upset and my mouth go dry because the fly boxes I labored over for hours didn't exactly set the YouTube algorithm on fire. Don't panic, I forgive you. Handcrafted walnut and epoxy fly boxes with hand-driven copper rivets are not for everyone. But this request tugged at my heart, because this request happened when my son called me one spring morning and asked me in a very serious voice to make him a ring box. As I worked in my shop and milled down the white oak, cherry, and walnut, my mind started to race with thoughts. Was my son ready to get married? If he did ask her, would she say yes? What would the future hold for them? What I didn't know at the time was that I would have to wait patiently, knowing this information, without sharing a word for an entire year to find out if my son would eventually propose. Luckily, you only have to wait a few more minutes to find out how this story ends. Up to this point, I have been successful in creating a huge mess, complete with sawdust and glue. All I have to show for this mess is a poor excuse of a cutting board, and if this engagement thing doesn't work out, maybe I can give it away as a gift to one of my subscribers. Either way, I smiled in my shop while I planed this board. Then I did some really stupid things while cutting it into more square strips while using a table saw sled. Just so you know, using a table saw sled is relatively safe when done properly. However, trying to capture close-up videos while using a table saw sled will get your heart rate going. Kids, don't try this at home. My hands and camera were at risk of being chopped into tiny pieces here. But you know what? I would do it all over again for you, my loyal subscribers. You're not opposed to clicking the subscribe button, are you? By now you've observed that I'm trying to be as random as possible when laying out these strips. To my surprise, being random is way more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I was asked to create a look inspired by Minecraft. Now, don't roast me in the comments, but I don't know exactly what Minecraft is. From what I can tell, it's a modern-day digital Lego game. However, my son and his now ex-girlfriend, or are they engaged? You're getting closer to finding out. They enjoy sitting at the computer doing Minecraft stuff, so this is the look that I'm going for here. Essentially what I have here is another thin cutting board, but what I actually need is a freaking box. I decided to cut the next set of strips wider and assumed that this would allow me to stack them on top of each other to leave me with something that could be made into a box. What I didn't expect is how much wood that all of this jointing, planing, and cutting would waste. At this point, my heart is racing. The room seems to be getting hotter, because if somehow I do end up with a box, I don't know if it will be too small to add hinges to, not to mention allow enough space for a ring, you know, just in case my son actually decides to propose one day. After all of this, I looked down and my eyes started to water. The pattern was not random enough for the look I desired. I took a deep breath and decided to try one last-ditch effort and cut this block into smaller chunks, wasting more material. Then I glued them back together in a desperate attempt to create more randomness. This was a very big risk. Time seemed to stand still. As the glue dried, my mind started to drift off. What am I doing here? Don't jewelry stores give you a box when you buy a ring? Is my son so nervous that she is going to say no that he is convinced a custom wood ring box will magically change her mind? If that's the case, I can't screw this up. He will never forgive me. If my son never gets married, he will never have a family of his own with kids running through the park. My wife will blame it all on me. The amazing life I know now will never be the same. All because of a ring box? My heart was racing. I started to shake. The room started to spin. Okay, relax, it all worked out. This box just needs a few more details before it can be finished. One of those details is a 45-degree bevel on each corner. Next, I marked each side of the box with a pencil, so when I cut the top off this box, I know exactly how it needs to go back together. And since I decided to use jewelry hinges, I need to add a bevel to the back of the top and main box piece so the box will actually open. Could you imagine being on one knee, looking up at the woman you want to spend the rest of your life with, sweating, your voice cracking while you're asking the most important question of your life? And the effing box won't even open? I'm sure glad I thought of this now. It would have been really easy to mark out an X from corner to corner on the top and bottom of the box to find the center point, then simply drill a 1¼ inch hole to make space for the ring. But because these jewelry hinges also need holes drilled so they can be installed, I had to drill this hole about 1/8 inch closer to the front of the box to leave enough space. Oh, and drilling all these holes would have been a lot easier if I wasn't using the cheapest, most raggedy, shaky, underpowered benchtop drill press known to mankind. But I digress. Eventually, somehow, with only a little smoke, it got the job done. Once all the holes were drilled for the ring, the hinges, the magnets that will keep the box closed, I moved on to sanding. I hand sanded this entire box. I wanted the box to close perfectly without a gap, and I wanted the sides to be perfectly aligned and smooth. To achieve this, I placed sandpaper on top of my table saw and ran the pieces over the paper to make sure the surfaces of the box stayed perfectly flat on all sides. Then I finished the box with black forest furniture oil. You will understand why I taped off these sections in just a second. I had a big smile on my face when I saw how well these jewelry hinges worked. The action is smooth and effortless. Just follow the instructions and drill an appropriate sized hole to install them. The fit was so precise that my grip was not strong enough to get them in place. I had to use a clamp to get them to sit flush. Next, I used a pencil to mark the magnets that will keep the box closed, so I know which way to install them. I want these to hold the box closed and not repel each other and hold the box open forever. And at last, I used some CA glue to hold them in place. If you want your blood pressure to rise, just have an expensive engagement ring rattling around inside of a wooden box when the time comes to propose. I came up with the solution to use leather to hold the ring securely in place. What you see here is the first time in my life I have ever worked with leather. Even though regular scissors seem to cut the leather just fine, if anyone out there watching is an expert leather worker and has some advice they can share with me in the comments, I would be grateful. Or you can call me an idiot. I will respond to just about anything. Try me. I stood tall with a smile on my face and looked my son in the eye when I delivered this ring box over a year ago. Then spring turned into summer and summer turned into fall. Fall turned into winter. In fact, the memory of making a ring box was fuzzy in my mind at one point, but after waiting patiently for over a year until the time was absolutely perfect, he dropped down on one knee and proposed. And of course she said yes. We couldn't be happier for both of them and look forward to the memories that they will create in the future. Thanks for watching.